This training video is going to be about the new regulations that became effective July 1st, 2013 in regards to the hours of service. Here at uztrans, we're getting a lot of questions and a lot of confusions by the drivers in regards to these new regulations. So let me show you some very helpful tips how we can work with those new regulations through Qualcomm, with the help of Qualcomm. So from your home page, I would like you to go to your hours of service, and in the main page there, in the status page there, it will show you all the key information. I would say I want you guys to pay really close attention to all the details here. So first of all, it's showing your status. When did you start that status? Now, what time it is now? How long have you been in that status? If there is any exceptions, usually those come from me. And then also it shows you on the second column, it shows you last 34-hour reset. So it will show you when did you do your last reset. I didn't do any recent ones on mine, so it's not showing anything, but I'm sure yours will. And then another very important part is it will show you when are you eligible for the next 34-hour restart. Yeah, you heard it right. Now the drivers are supposed to be eligible to do a 34-hour restart. With the old regulations, we used to be able to go to a 34-hour restart and gain our 70 hours back even twice within 1 week. But with the new rule, we can only do one 34-hour restart within 8 days or within 168 hours. So whichever comes first, then your Qualcomm. So the easiest way for everyone, just a rule of thumb, is just look at your next 34-hour start, and if it says eligible now, you can do it. If it doesn't say eligible, it shows you when you're going to be eligible, in how many hours, and then you can do that. And then another important thing is hours to be gained. Let's say you ran out of your 70 hours. That does not mean, but you're not home yet. But that does not mean that's end of it. You have to do a 34-hour restart wherever you are. If at midnight tonight you are eligible to gain hours, it's going to show in that row where it says hours to be gained. So hours to be gained line will show you your hours that you're going to gain at midnight tonight, and hours to be gained in 2 days will show your hours that you will gain back, if any, tomorrow at midnight. So these are very helpful for you guys. So if you're running out of your 34 hours and you're far away from home, do not panic. Do not call safety right away. Check your status first. And then there it will show when are you eligible for your 34-hour restart, what are you gaining at midnight tonight, what are you gaining at midnight tomorrow night. All of that will be on here, and that can help you to plan your trip accordingly and then maybe get home. If it's absolutely showing 0 like mine and you're running out of hours and you're in New York, you're not home, or far away from home, then yes, you're gonna have to do a restart at your current location whenever you run out of your hours. Also, I wanted to tell you guys, I want to go to the graph for that. Let's say you have been off duty. Okay, you ran out of your 11 hours for today. Let me go to summary. Let's say if I run out of my 11 hours for today and I'm almost done with my 14 hours and I have to do my 10-hour off for today, I will, obviously, but I very strongly urge you guys, after you have been off duty 8 hours, check your summary page, this exact page that's on your screen right now. I'm sorry if the screen is shaking a little bit because I have to hold the camera while I'm talking. So please check this page after 8 hours you have been off duty. Sometimes it will let you drive again after 8 hours if you did not finish your whole day before you went on to a 10-hour break. So do not try to understand it. Just, I would say again, a rule of thumb, if you try to understand it, it's going to just be too confusing. The rule of thumb is after you have been off duty for 8 hours every day, just in case, come back and check your Qualcomm. If it shows that you have hours available for driving, that's awesome. You can keep going if you're in a rush. But it won't give you all your 11 and 14 back, so keep that in mind. So if you're in a rush, you're like 100 miles away from the shipper and you have an appointment, and then you ran out of hours, that would be a good option for you guys to use. So I recommend check your summary after 8 hours you have been off duty every day to see if you gained anything back for the day. Okay, another thing is, I will explain that in the graph better. Let's say, according to the new rule for the hours of service, the driver, commercial driver, cannot drive longer than 8 hours without a 30-minute break. So what's happening is a lot of our drivers are starting their day and they're taking their 30-minute break within the first 3 hours of their driving. Because they're thinking because they are waiting or they don't have a load or they were in the truck stop and then I stopped, I'll just do my 30 minutes so I don't have to stop anymore. Well, guess what? It's not going to work because the law says you have to take 30-minute break after each 8 hours of driving. You cannot drive longer than 8 hours with no break. So what happened the other day is one of our drivers, he started driving, he started his 11 hours, and on his second hour, he took 45-minute break. Then he kept going and going, and then when he hit 8th hour, the Qualcomm kept saying, you have to take a break. And the driver was upset. He said, I already took my break. And I said, but it has been longer than 8 hours since you took the break, so you have to take another one. So the smart way to do is do not take it within the first 3 hours. Otherwise, you're going to have to take 2 30-minute breaks, which is going to hurt your schedule pretty bad. So that's another thing I wanted you guys to know. And please, I'm going to do a little recap. So don't forget to take 30-minute breaks by the end of each 8th hour. So it doesn't mean that if you do one 30-minute break in one day, that's going to count. No. If you do your break too early, it's not going to count. And check your hours if you gained anything back for the day after you've been off duty for 8 hours. And on the status page, check every time before you go to 34-hour restart, check if you're eligible yet. And if you're stuck away from home, check how many hours you can gain in the summary page. This should help you guys a lot. You guys don't have to look for me or for my co-workers Noza and Michelle all the time. A lot of the answers are right here. And then also I want to point out one more thing. From the home page, if you hit this arrow right here, there's something called driver help topics. Please use this. This is very useful. It updates every day. If there is any new regulation or anything like that, it will be in here. And then also, if DOT officer pulls you over, show them this. If they ask you where's your manual is arrow to the right, driver help topics. This is your manual. And this is much better than any paper manual that's out there. Okay, thank you for your attention. I hope this will help and answer most of your questions.